Hi everyone, so the Season 5 PTR has been up for a few days and there have been some pretty interesting developments and some crazy stuff going on, so I want to share this with you guys. So most importantly, we have some new top dogs for like the biggest damage output out there, and I guess surprisingly to everyone, the number one is the Sorcerers right now. So you have this clip here from Mikuna. They've managed to clear a tier 200 pit carried by a chain lightning Sorcerers, and we have a 4.2 quadrillion crit here that this sorcerer is able to put out. Now, this doesn't really seem like everything is going really as it should. Not that I don't mind that Sorc is really strong, but this seems to be at least 6 zeros or so too much for what we should be expecting. So that's definitely something fishy here. And we also have Druids, and out of all things, a companion Druid that also dishes out some insane damage here. So this is a clip from the Daft microtransaction actually. And somehow he managed to do like a 13 trillion damage dot tick with his poison creeper. So some really fancy stuff is going on here. And we're having a blast on this video with lots of funny interactions. Before we continue with the video, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, boot.dev. They've created a platform that makes it easier than ever to get into programming and polish your skills. They believe that the easiest way to learn code is to make sure that you're never bored, and this is why they have designed their courses to feel more like a game and less like a chore. The only way to really get into programming is to get your hands busy and write a ton of code, and this is exactly what the tasks allow you to do without ever feeling like you're getting stuck, because they have tons of tools to help you out. In these courses, you're going to learn backend programming from start to finish in the Python and Go languages. You can earn XP, levels, achievements, and even get on a global leaderboard if you want to get real competitive. And if you ever get stuck, you have Boots, the bear wizard AI that helps you out and understand the problem so that you can find a solution. The courses at boot.dev are designed to go deep, teach you the fundamentals, and make you build your first projects. Compared to attending a university course, boot.dev is a way cheaper solution and allows you the flexibility of doing it all at your own pace and from home. They offer both a monthly and annual subscription, and you can cancel in the first 30 days, no questions asked. So if you really want to learn coding and that convinces you, then go check out boot.dev with the link in the description or the pinned comment below, and you get 25% off your first payment to boot.dev by clicking that link or using my code. And now, let's go back to the video. Now, to get back to those clips and what actually happens here and how you can maybe reproduce the same, well, I guess it's pretty obvious that these are some bugged numbers. So they seem way higher than they should be. And this is due to some weird multiplicative effects. I don't know exactly what is going on, but I have been told that this has to do with some of the unique items. Number one being the axial conduit. So for the sorcerer clip in particular, the one from Mikuna. So this new pair of pants basically makes it so that one single chain lightning kind of flies out and circles back to you and comes back and goes again and so on. And that can somehow scale up its damage when you combine it with the Crown of Lucion. This is here a very powerful new item, by the way, that probably in its current form at least almost every single build in the game would take, even over Harlequin Quest. And for some reason, this kind of scales up its damage even further or something like that. So I've been told from people that have tried just the pants, for example, they couldn't really reach this effect. And there seems to be something going on with just the damage scaling higher and higher and higher to basically infinity. Because in this clip, for example, we have, well, slowly increasing numbers as we watch this. So let's say we do this in like half speed or so. And this boss in the pit 200, mind you, just dies here. So we have a 6, and then there's a 14, a 40, a 150, a 370, a 500, 800. You see, it keeps going up one more time, like more and more, and then finally the big boom at the end. You can also just watch the HP bar, I guess, slowly decreasing, and then faster and faster and bigger ticks. So something really wonky going on here with the Sorcs. I guess it's good that we have a PTR guide, so what do you think? So that has been pretty funny to see. And yeah, about this companion druid, so I'm not sure if this has been figured out yet, what is happening here. But this has to do with the poison creepers, and this is a companion build. So there might be some stuff like maybe with the bestial rampage or so that leads to some unintended multipliers, but apparently this incredible damage output that this Poison Creeper does here does not appear very often. So it seems to be some kind of like a rare occurrence. Maybe DM knows actually more about this. I haven't actually been able to reach him now, but it would be interesting to see if this can also be done at will, basically. But yeah, you can see, for example, also this elite that gets started up here. It's like this guy. He's like, yeah, tier 90 pit. He presses his Poison Creeper. This guy gets started up and basically instantaneously explodes. You see here, his entire health bar instantly gone. So this is usually a dot that, you know, ticks down, and you can watch the bar go down. And because it was such a massive hit, it was the first frame instantly deleted this entire HP bar, for example. That's kind of funny to see. So yeah, somehow there is like this crazy damage number that comes out of this, but apparently only sometimes. In fact, if anyone else knows exactly what is going on here, that would be good to understand, so that maybe you can also bug report this. But this is not all, so there's also some other interesting stuff here. So those are the top two, I guess, like the Druids and the Sorcerers, especially because those are somewhat of the underdogs currently. Kind of funny to see, especially with the companions. I kind of love that we have this kind of build somehow popping out with these trillions of damage numbers. There's also something I think that I talked about already in one of my other videos, but just to go over this again, this is a screenshot from a viewer of mine who sent me a clip of him killing Lord Zir, Tormented Lord Zir, with a 5 billion hit. This is also not bad. I mean, nothing compared to this, and especially this. However, 5 billion damage is all you need, really, for anything in the game. And this is based on the new rogue weapon, the Ambor Crux. So this is something I've been talking about extensively. I've also gotten my hands on this thanks to a lucky drop. And I've been trying this out for a little while. And, well, it turns out this can get really wild as well. So this 30% damage replication here that it's supposed to have is actually way more than that. There seems to be some crazy interactions when you hit it very fast. And it doesn't actually get this damage penalty then, but instead replicates basically 100%. And on top of this, there's some double dipping going on that makes it do a lot more damage than the original, actually. So this 5 billion crit is from the totem towards the boss, basically. And you see here all these other damage numbers, they're like 1 million, 1.2 million, 1.2, and then boom, 5 billion. So there's some other funny stuff going on here with the rogues. I guess if someone really tries, you can probably see hundreds of billions or this, maybe even quadrillions as well, if you do like a really big hit and then scale the totem of that, basically, with all of the double dipping going on. So that seems to be also quite unexpected, I gotta say. And hopefully we're gonna see some fixes there too. All in all though, this entire PTR so far has been a blast, and even with like bugs and, you know, wonky stuff going on, personally, I really enjoyed jumping in and trying to theory craft and figuring out builds. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard sometimes because of, you know, how broken some of these interactions are. And then, you know, we have to kind of figure out what will happen, what will be fixed and what will not, and so on. But yeah, all these new uniques so far, apart from the fact that they're really hard to come by, it is actually really interesting what we got here. So a lot of these items have been created with like really interesting effects, I think, and really interesting like stat lines, for example. And some of them might be a little bit too strong, like for example this one here that single-handedly elevates basically every basic skill in the game to an actual carry skill, I guess. But there are also, you know, lots of really interesting interactions. I really love this design here, for example, for the third blade, for the barb, and there's a lot more stuff that I will be covering on this PTR. On the bright side though, Blizzard has also stepped in and they have done a PTR patch right after, like around a day or something. So these are the patch notes. They've mostly taken a look at the Infernal Hordes system, the new event, the wave-based survival mode that we're gonna get in Season 5. And one big issue with that was that it was almost impossible to even try it, or even at least go to like a higher difficulty that would be appropriate for an in-game character. So it has different tiers, goes up to tier 8, and it had to excruciatingly slowly grind out tier by tier, upgrade one of your keys, and most of the time you didn't even get an upgrade after completing one of these things. So it was pretty horrible, and on top of this, not really rewarding on any tier whatsoever. So that still hasn't changed, but they are looking into that. So they've talked about this here. They're going to change the rewards, and they're going to change the encounters, make it hopefully cooler and something that you want to do. But I've actually gone in and I've done a tier 8 on my hardcore rogue. That was actually a pretty tough and fun challenge to try to accomplish this. And then I ripped on the last wave. So that was a bit unfortunate. But yeah, this is actually getting a lot better when you have a bit of like a challenge in that system at least. Because otherwise it was kind of like a snooze fest when you just like sit there in this one room and monsters run into you and you just one-shot them. But later, when there was actually a bit of a back and forth and some fighting, when they were beefed up to a tier or like level 200 monsters, that was much better. So maybe they can get this right. For now, I'm pretty optimistic that they are aware of what is wrong with it, and hopefully we're gonna see some big updates to this when the next campfire arrives. Let me know if you also have something that you want me to try, something that maybe you came up with, some ideas for a build, or you know, some interaction of how we could use one of these items the best way possible or something like that. I'm discussing this basically all day, every day on my stream and trying out builds, making characters and so on. But who knows, there's always more great ideas out there. So that's already it for my little summary here. I have a lot more stuff coming and stuff that I have discovered as well on the PTR, so stay tuned for that. There's especially a lot of rogue testing I'm doing currently, and then I'm also jumping to the other classes. So hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time.